like a bug in a rug. And oh, God, he ain't wet yet. You got a problem?
Thank you. I've had it.
What seems to be the trouble?
Making brick without straw has never been my specialty.
Kingsley Jackson, huh?
Not good enough.
Well, it's your road, and you built it. And if you ask me, you had to be full of some of Cincinnati's Blue Thunder when you done it.
I wish I had some now. I was dry then, and so was the road when we cut it through. Times have changed.
You got some ideas to go along with that brilliant observation?
Yeah. Why don't you drive the wagon and team on into Niceboro? Look up old Moose Williams, the blacksmith, and have him brace the axle with some iron clamps. That ought to do it. We can get our supplies.
And while I'm with Moose, where are you gonna be?
Oh, I'll go up ahead, look for some washouts and rock slides. I'll meet you at Johnson Creek in 2 days.
2 days? I won't even hardly be there by tomorrow night.
And Josh, when the wagon is fixed, you can leave right away. Old Williams hadn't got any daughters.
Ha, 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 ha.
Josh, you know better to let those horses stand out there in the rain without any shelter.
I hope you can find rock slides better than you can fix roads.
Daniel Boone was a man, yes, a big man, with an eye like an eagle and as tall as a mountain was he. Daniel Boone was a man, yes, a big man. He was brave, he was fearless, and as tough as a mighty oak tree. From the coonskin cap on the top of old Dan to the heel of his rawhide shoe, the rippin'est, roaring'est, fighting'est man the frontier ever knew. Daniel Boone was a man, yes, a big man, and he fought for America to make all Americans free. Daniel Boone.
Tell Boone I rised out of a sickbed to mend this wagon. I wouldn't have done it for anyone else. Well, I feel miserable. Just miserable. I get aching in my bones so bad that my old lady's got to bend me straight to get me up in the morning. That should do it. Why don't you put it down? I've been ailing for months.
I'm sorry to hear about that.
Got no strength at all. Well, I feel like a barrel of mush. I'd lay me down and die, only the preacher's out in circuit.
this ought to do it. Green grass, fresh water. What do you think of that? Is that any way for a prim and proper old maid to be talking? But I know what you mean. It's spring. Isn't that wonderful? Hello!
Hello!
Hello yourself.
Will you give me a hand in?
Yeah, bring it in right down here.
That your wagon?
Yeah?
Well, that solves my problem. I was worried how to get these pelts home with the river so shallow and my canoe riding so low in the weather. I figured I'd have to make 2 trips. And with poachers nesting in every trail and every stream, that's not a happy prospect. Give me a lift over these rocks. Let her down easy now. Careful.
What are you using for ballast in this thing, rimrock?
Aye. The plushiest rimrock you ever saw. Hey, look.
I wish you would look.
My name's McFarland. Bruce McFarland.
Josh Clements.
I was headed for Nashborough. Now you can take me.
I just came from Nashborough. Daniel Boone and I are heading east tomorrow to get some supplies.
It'll only hold you up a day at most.
Dan will be here tomorrow morning. We can talk to him about it.
Aye, we'll wait for Boone. In the meantime, you can put up a pot of coffee, and I'll tell you about a stream so thick with beaver that you can walk across without getting your moccasins wet.
Hey, where'd you say it was again?
I'll not be telling that.
I told you we missed our chances. We should have taken him and his furs miles downstream.
Shut up, kid. Give me time to figure something out.
I'll say one thing, Mac. You hit the rainbow and the pot all in one. I'm not jealous of you, though.
Sure you are.
What would I do if I suddenly got rich? Probably buy a piece of land. And then you got to put a cabin on it, right? Then you got to get a wife to take care of the cabin.
Aye.
And if I took a wife, I would break the hearts of half of the unwed women of Kentucky. And I just couldn't bear up under the burden, Mac. Couldn't bear up under it. Get your bedroll and come on bed down by the fire.
Nope. I sleep better smelling my furs.
Suit yourself. See you in the morning.
Aye.
You see, it's gonna be better this way.
I don't get it.
We get the furs, we cash them, then we sit back and let somebody else get blamed.
Okay, Mac, up. Mac? Mac? Mac?
Swanson. It's McFarland. Knifed. Who'd do that to old Mac?
Poacher, nobody else. Somebody's coming.
Hey, that looks like Mac's canoe.
Should be him coming back. Behind the wagon.
That's his canoe.
He's got rid of the furs.
What? Hello! What are you? That's enough!
You know him?
No. Well, I'm Josh Clements.
Where you from?
Boonesboro.
Nah. You tell it slow and you tell it true. What happened here?
I don't know what happened. I met Mac here last night at the ford. I bedded down by the wagon. He bedded down by the furs. I woke up this morning, and that's the way I found him.
Well?
Well, what?
We want to hear more.
Let me go on me. There ain't no more.
Nobody here but you and Mac. Is that so?
Look, I checked for tracks here. I checked them on the other side of the creek. I figure whoever done it had to come by the creek.
Come by the creek, kill Mac, take off with his furs.
That's the way I got it figured, yeah.
Why didn't they take his canoe?
Anybody killed Mac and you camped so near, he'd be crazy to unload the furs from one canoe to another. He'd just take off in Mac's canoe. Ain't that so?
Mr. Clemens, you feed us a cock and bull story and expect us to swallow it.
Now, you wait a minute.
No, you just wait a minute. Where did you catch them furs?
I didn't catch any.
Hold it.
I didn't catch.
Now, we probably can pound the truth out of you, but it'll wait till we get poor Mac back home. You hitch up the wagon. It's one thing you ought to know, Mr. Clemens. Nashborough's got the highest hanging tree in Kentucky.
Harry, Middleton, look. That's his hat, all right. He must have gone that way.
two, keep searching. I'm taking the wagon back to Nashboro to get some help.
He had his hands tied. Maybe we could flush him out, the three of us.
Maybe ain't enough. I'm coming back with men, dogs. Where we lost him.
Not a sign of him, Sam.
Now you spread out, both sides of the stream. You work it up and down, every inch, you hear? Give me the hat. Use this for scent.
What's wrong? What happened? Cut my hands loose. Them hounds have picked up their scent and they're on us. Hear them? Get me out of here. Josh, can't you walk? I have messed up my ankle. I'm telling you, we gotta go, damn. Well, what's wrong?
He dropped the scent like he just flew off and disappeared.
All right, you spread out. Cover every inch of the brush. Can't be far off.
That feel?
Like a cold piece of bacon in a hot skillet. I ain't going too far, too fast on that, I'll tell you. What am I gonna do, Daniel?
Well, Josh, I've been thinking.
You've been thinking I gotta get away.
Josh, when you come across a cranky old bear in a cave, you gotta get him out. What do you do?
Why do I want him out?
First thing you do is build a big fire in the mouth of the cave, dump on some wet leaves, and smoke the critter out.
You know, I don't know about the bear, but I got a funny feeling that my hide's gonna get singed.
First thing tomorrow morning, you're gonna walk into Nashboro.
They got a hanging tree greased and ready and waiting for old Josh. I'm gonna stay as far away from Nashboro as I can.
Josh, the only way to get you out of this mess is to prove that you didn't kill McFarland.
And how you gonna do that?
Well, by finding the real killers.
Go on.
Well, now, whoever killed McFarland killed him for his pelts.
Yeah.
So where are the furs?
How do I know where the furs are?
Now, McFarland would have put his mark on every fur. All trappers do that. And by this time, all the fur buyers in the territory will have heard about the killing, so they'll be on the lookout for his mark. So it just seems likely that whoever has the furs is going to hide them until things kind of cool down.
That's logical. But where?
The only way to find out is to get them to show us.
Let me see if I follow you. I am going into Nashboro.
Right.
And they're going to jump on me for McFarland's killing.
Mm-hmm.
And when they got me, the real killers breathe a little easier, right?
Yeah, that's right. They'll go to wherever they've cached the furs. We follow them, catch them red-handed.
We follow.
and we'll catch 'em red-handed. Right? All 6 foot of me is going to be dangling from a 9-foot limb. Now, would you mind telling me how we are going to catch 'em?
Well, I don't think that's the way it's going to happen.
Daniel, is this one of your good plans? I mean, real good plans?
Of course it is.
Well, it better be a good one, because if it's a bad one, it's going to be real bad.
Understand it. Beats me. Well, he got away. Them dogs were hot after him.
I don't think those dogs ever had his scent.
They was out after possum or something.
Watch what you're doing. That's heavy. I could have busted a leg.
Well, then I reckon we just have to shoot you.
That ain't my idea of a joke, mister.
You don't like my kind of fun. We'll tell him the one about the cow. Hey, that's a good one. Do you know how long cows should be milked? Well, do you? Do you know how long cows should be milked? Same as short ones. How about that? Same as short ones.
Oh, that's a real wheezer. Well, you want to laugh, I'll give you something to laugh about.
Hold it. You and your friend been hanging around Nashboro for days now. What's your business here?
That don't concern you none.
Strangers with short tempers gotta concern somebody. When you stomp out sparks, you don't get fires.
Will you look at this?
Why, that's that Clemens fella. He killed Mac.
So you didn't break your neck trying to get away. Well, you'd be sorry you didn't. We're through with you.
Just stand aside, stand back.
Why are you trying to back this fella up? He killed Bruce McFarland.
He didn't kill McFarland.
You'll take the word of Daniel Boone, won't you?
How does he know what happened? He was miles away.
He told me what happened, and I believe him.
Well, he told me what happened, and I don't believe him.
Moose!
Boone! We caught him red-handed. He was fixing to take poor old Mac off and bury him in the woods where nobody'd ever find him. Well, look at him. He's still got Mac's blood on his shirt.
Yeah, and Mac's canoe was empty of furs. He'd already cached them. You should have seen the look on his face when he saw us. Tried to fight us back. Ain't that true?
He came in here of his own free will and accord. No one forced him. I don't think that sounds like a guilty man.
We don't need any legal falderall. We can handle this ourselves. Ain't that right?
That's right. Every man jack of
These poachers have been stealing us blind.
That's the truth.
That's it. They're getting bolder and more vicious all the time.
He's right.
Now, McFarland's dead. Well, which one of you is going to be next?
Keep it going, Sam. You're making sense.
Now, what we got to do is to start talking the kind of language that the poachers understand.
That's right.
We got the highest hanging tree in Kentucky.
That's right.
And we're going to use it on you.
Seems a man can't even get any peace on his own deathbed. How you be, Daniel?
Oh, no complaints, Moose.
I can give you some of mine. What's that?
Well, these are McFarland's pelts.
You better do some talking, Clemens.
We were searching down around Johnson's Creek, and we found where the murderer cached the pelts.
How come it took you so long? Being as you put them there in the first place.
You're in big trouble, son.
I didn't kill McFarland.
This job's for a judge. My job's to keep you under custody till he gets here. And that's what I'm gonna do. Unless standing out here in this chill gives me a fever, that'll be the death of me. Now, y'all go home. All of you. Particularly you. I don't want any trouble. I just don't feel well enough to handle it. Come on, son.
Where's McFarland cabin? Thank you, son.
There goes our furs. What are we gonna do about it?
We'll think about it.
Your bunk's over there. I'm gonna take me some sorghum molasses. Maybe just a jolt of whiskey. They don't mix so good together. Guess I'll just pass up the sorghum molasses.
You know what's gonna happen? It's plain as a buzzard on a branch. It'll be months before a judge gets here. By that time, it'll be stale fish. Nobody will care much anymore.
They'll start that legal hocus pocus. Smart lawyers. Clements will be laughing up his sleeve.
Couldn't help overhearing you. You got no problem.
None we need your help for.
Wait a minute. You got any interest in ideas? We're listening.
You ever hear of Judge Qualey?
Qualey, I heard of him.
Well, he's brought his circuit to Harpersville. Now, that's no more than a day's ride from here.
Yeah?
Qualey eats poachers alive. He'd be here in a shot if he knew you'd collared one.
Now, that's interesting.
One thing, though.
Yeah?
Qualey will want evidence. Surefire evidence.
We got 3 witnesses.
Sam? There's something you ought to know.
Yeah?
These furs that Boone brought to me, they're not Mac's.
You sure about that, Lucy?
Mac always made his mark when he dressed a skin. None of these pelts have a mark.
Boone and Clements are tricking us.
Now, why would they want to do that?
Could be a lot of reasons. Maybe they went out and bought some old pelts and still have twice as many better ones cached away.
Well, might be. Just might be. Yeah, we better go tell Moose about this. Come on, Lucy.
Ooh. Ah. That too hot?
Can't feel a thing. It's that creeping distemper. Terrible thing. My poor old daddy suffered with it till he was 78.
Died of it?
No. He finally fell off a horse.
That killed him.
No. That cured him.
Cured him?
Felt good enough to marry the widow Garrison that following year. That killed him.
Yeah.
Come ahead. You got some business with me at this hour, Sam? Evening, Lucy.
Moose?
Where's Boone?
He went up to Williamsburg to fetch a lawyer for Clements here.
Mrs. McFarland, I didn't kill your husband. You gotta believe me, I did not kill your husband.
I'm not your judge, and I don't want to be.
Moose, Lucy's got something she wants to tell you.
Those aren't Mac's pelts. They haven't got his mark.
You see, Moose? Boone and this fella have been trying to put something over on us. Now, where'd you get those furs? You poach them? Buy them? Well, never mind. It don't make no difference. We don't have to know no more. We know what we're gonna do. Come on, Lucy.
Mrs. McFarland. Mrs. McFarland, I know how you feel, but would you please trust Daniel Boone and me? We're trying to find the man that did kill your husband.
That won't bring him back, will it?
Did you have it figured out, too, about the... Did you have it figured out, too, about them trying to use that trick of switching and using other furs?
Nope. But it couldn't have turned out any better. Now everybody's sure that they got the right one. And there'll be a first-class hanging.
What are we gonna do now?
Well, we'll take off fast. We'll get back to where we hid the furs, load them up, and move out. Far, far away.
I'll fetch Quayle. You be sure Clements tries no funny work.
We'll mind to that. Don't you worry, Sam.
Hurry back.
Hold up. We take that trail.
But this is the way to Johnston's Creek.
We take the other one. We head as far away from Johnston's Creek as we can, then we cut back over the mountains.
Over the mountains? How come?
It's the scenic route.
You're supposed to be in custody.
I'm a trustee.
Tell me something. Did you ever hear of Judge Quayle?
Quick Quayle, the hanging judge, who hadn't?
Quick for the way he handles poachers.
He's coming.
Here,
He's making a special trip.
just for you. We thought you'd like to know. When do you think Swanson will get here with him?
It's hard to say, but mighty quick.
Yes, sir. Mighty quick.
Ah.
What are you up to?
I'm getting out of here.
Oh, is that a fact?
That's a fact. I come in here of my own free accord, and I'm going out the same way.
Seems like a sudden decision.
Judge Quayle's coming to town. Do you know about that?
No, not till you told me.
That's a hanging judge.
So they say.
What kind of a chance do you think I'm going to stand against a man like Quayle?
Slim.
Like a pin feather. Now, I didn't bargain for this, and I'm getting out of here.
What am I going to tell Boone when he comes with that fancy lawyer from Williamsburg?
You can tell Mr. Boone that I think that plan of his that was so good didn't work out so good.
Clemens?
Ah!
What's the matter with you?
Shh. Douse that fire.
Well, the meat ain't done yet. What you want to go and do that for? You're giving me fits the way you're acting.
There's something out there.
Well, I don't hear nothing.
I just got a feeling.
But we ain't at yet.
Shut up. Get your stuff. Let's get out of here.
They're here! They're coming in! They're here! Hey, Swanson's back! Hey! He's got the judge! He's got the judge! Hey, nice, Sam! Hey, Sam! Hey, Sam, you made a quick trip! Ready? Yep, got a jury, got a bailiff. Everybody knows what to do.
Fine, fine. Now, you heard him, Judge. Everything's ready. Bailiff, jury, everything. Now, the courtroom's right in there. You ready, Judge?
You can't rush justice, my boy.
Why, I thought you were known as Judge Quickwhaley.
That I am, lad. That I am. But in juridical matters, one hurries at a leisurely pace. I'll want a bath and a meal.
Well, begging your pardon, Your Honor, but we thought we'd have the hanging now.
I never hang a man before eating. Besides, the afternoon gives the occasion more dignity.
You're not gonna let him go through with this. Moose, you're the constable.
My job is to catch him and hold him, and that's all I do.
Hey, get up there and keep a lookout. And if you see anything or hear anything, yell like the blazes. Don't worry about me. They're right here, just where we left them.
Bailiff, mark this Exhibit A. All right, we've heard the prosecution. Now we'll hear the defense.
No, we've heard enough.
Mr. Carey, you may step down now. Do you have anything to say, young fellow?
All I got to say, I've said before, I didn't kill McFarland, and I haven't touched his furs.
Wait.
Liar!
Hold on.
I got him here.
That doesn't put up a very good defense.
Get him, Judge.
Joshua Clements, being guilty of murder and the reprehensible and unconscionable crime of poaching, I condemn you...
Just a minute, Your Honor. Been reading up on this judging last night. Ain't you forgetting something?
Forgetting what?
This here's a capital offense, that right?
Yes, that's right.
Well, it says right here, a defendant in a capital offense is entitled to what they call legal counsel. That means a lawyer.
We don't need any lawyer.
I feel whatever a man's entitled to, he should get.
That's a mere technicality.
You can hang a man on the mere technicality as well as on a rope.
Now, you stay out of this, Moose.
Did I read the law right?
There are several ways of looking at it, Constable. You can pound at the law. If the law is on your side, you pound with facts. If the facts are on your side. But if there's nothing on your side, then you pound the table. The way I see it, you have table pounding privileges.
Well, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have table pounding privileges because you ain't gonna hang this boy without legal counsel.
Very well. If you think there's any point to drawing this out, the court will appoint counsel for the defendant.
Good.
Is there a lawyer in the room?
There ain't a lawyer within 100 miles, so I guess we'll just have to wait till we fetch one. Come on, son.
Williams, don't interfere. Clements is guilty. It's the start and end of it.
I got a necktie here.
I'm in poor health, Sam. I don't figure on busting more than 4 or 5 heads if you take a step closer.
We're taking him in, Williams. Don't you get in the way.
Get him!
The man here that killed McFarland. Caught him with the furs red-handed. Can you handle him?
I just might, Daniel, even though my sacroiliacs is slipping and a sliding.
Yeah, he does awful good for a man that's sick. I hate to think what would happen if he'd had his health.
And then what happened?
Well, I let your pa know right off that I wasn't going to turn tail and run. I don't care how dangerous the situation was.
Well, I thought you said the whole town and bloodhounds and everything were after you.
More like half of Kentucky. Bloodhound, but I led them on a merry chase. I zigzagged, double back, covered my path. I forded that creek 4 times in a half an hour.
Wow.
I was sitting up in a tree, pretty as you please, just resting. And the whole town of Nashboro bloodhounds milling around down there, wondering where old Josh had disappeared to.
Gosh.
You know, my pappy didn't raise no fools. And I remembered what he once said. He said, boy, if you're in trouble, you fight fire with fire. And when I remembered that, that's when I marched back into Nashboro and stood my ground against that whole bunch.
Weren't you even scared?
Heck, no.
Josh, while you're getting your breath, you want to give me a hand with some of these sugar sacks?
Yeah. Oh, sure, Dan.
Israel, breakfast is almost ready. Will you get along and get dressed? And leave Josh and your father alone so they can finish their work.
Aw, Ma. Josh only told me once about when he whooped the whole town single-handed. I just gotta hear it again.
Scoot, young man. We could use some help.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, Josh, I'd like to hear that one again, too. The one about the time you captured the poachers and saved my life.
I don't think I could do that part of the yarn justice again, Dan.
Oh, I think it might even be better the second time around. Rebecca, put on another plate. I think maybe Josh is going to stay for breakfast.
I've already set another place.
Thank you, Rebecca.
Besides, I want to hear the story of the Indian princess myself.
The Indian princess?
Yeah, the one Josh met on the trail to Nashboro. Oh, you were at Johnson's Creek.
Oh, that Indian princess.
Come on, Izzy, I think you better wash up.
Daniel, that yarn I was spinning for Israel, I kind of fancied it up a little bit.
Mm-hmm. I sort of figured you got your warp mixed up with your woof.
Oh, no, I had the facts pretty well straight.
Well, especially that part about the Indian princess.
Well, I just kind of threw that in for some excitement. You know, there's something I've been meaning to ask you. Them furs that you brought into Nashboro, where'd you get them?
Oh, from an old Indian chief. He was that anxious to get rid of his daughter. You know, the Indian princess.
All right, Daniel.